Imagine that you're just a regular guy in your 30s. You're already prematurely balding. You don't have a girlfriend or a wife. You got a dead end job, but you're going out. You're trying to work hard to make a life. And you go to the grocery store. You see a pretty girl. She looks at you and she looks away in disgust. And you're like, well, that's the way life is. And you get in your truck and you go home. And then half hour later, an hour later, the police show up at your door and accuse you of rape, attempted rape on a woman in that grocery parking lot. A woman you don't know, have never seen before. She claims that you went up behind her and attacked her and pulled down her pants and hit her in the face. And then she was able to fight you off. And the police said, hey, she testified to this. We're not going to put up with this. Boom. You're locked up, you're arrested, and you're facing 20, 30 years in prison. And you're like, my God, I mean, you're going to lose. You're going to go to court. It doesn't matter that you didn't do it. The jury's going to say, oh, a creepy white guy. Oh, this poor little girl. And the rest of your life is ruined based on the testimony of this woman. This actually happened. A man was arrested in April. His name was Daniel Pearson. And here's a photo of his arrest record. Not the most attractive man, but you shouldn't go to jail just because you're not attractive. But literally, that is the reason she pressed the charges. Her whole story, she later admitted, was made up. She made it up. And the reason they were able to determine this is they had footage from the grocery store. There's cameras everywhere now. And the cameras didn't show any of this happening. And her cell phone data that added to it, and the police investigated it, and they asked her, and they said, Angela, your story's not adding up. And she goes, yeah, I just made it up. It wasn't true. He never even talked to the girl. She did. And they asked her, well, why would you make such charges? Just make him up like that. And she said, because he looked creepy. I'm serious. Because he looked creepy, she thought that gave her a right to make up false rape charges, attempted rape charges against a man. And the scary thing about it is, unless the store had the footage, the security camera footage, they only keep it for like 30, maybe 60 days, and they don't always have it. Sometimes they re-tape over it. He would be screwed because he would have gone to trial, and in trial, the prosecutors, they would have said, hey, it's going to be her word against yours, and everyone's been taught, believe all women, and the jury's going to go, oh, look at this ugly, brutish man. Oh, this poor little girl, why would she lie about such a thing? We need to give this guy an example. And just based on her testimony alone, I'm sure he would have been convicted. I can already see like the women in the jury just feeling so sorry for the girl. This is a nightmare. This is a nightmare that happens. And this is a result of this feminist idea of, oh, believe all women. Women never lie about such things. Yeah, they do. They lie all the time. That is why it's so important to prove people guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Just because someone makes up a story is not enough. So thank God Daniel Pearson is out of prison now. They've released him. I hope he sues her. And I hope they have arrested her. They've charged her. And what I think the penalty should be, if you make a false charge, you should serve the time that the charge was. For example, if attempted rape is 20 years in prison, she should now face 20 years in prison. This is outrageous. And this is just an example of the anti-male society we live in. And more than anti-male, if he had been nice looking, handsome, she would have been fine with it. But just because he looked creepy, she decided that gave her the right to try to destroy his life. Talk to you guys later.